Hello and welcome to another episode of Geography Made Easy. In these videos, we try to make difficult geographical topics easy. And today we are going to do the last chapter of CBAC University of Calcutta, which is Role of Environmental Education in Protection of the Environment. Now this chapter is very similar to the first chapter in this particular paper. Now let us look at the topics briefly. The first topic here is what is the meaning of the word lifelong learning process. Here, lifelong learning process basically means that we do not stop learning or we just do not learn from our general curriculum, but rather learning is not something which is just restricted to classrooms or to formal educations, but rather it extends beyond formal education. It goes beyond what we understand as formal. So here the informal sector also plays an important aspect in creating individuals awareness when we are talking about the environment. So here we are looking at how lifelong learning process can be beneficial for creation of environmental awareness. But again, we would like to talk and clarify that this process starts at a very young age for individuals, and it starts at home. So your environmental education will start at your house, in your family. You will become aware about your surroundings if your parents make you aware about it. Let's look at the pedagogical principles in environmental education. So there are basically six pedagogical principles involved in environmental education, which are inquiry, planning action, critical and interactive engagement and civic participation, networking and sharing in scales, social environmental, social change, evaluation and reflection. All of these six together create what we understand as the core basis of understanding environmental education. So the pedagogy is developed around asking questions and trying to answer those questions, and in order to do that, planning is required, critical and engagement is required, networking and sharing in different ways, just like I am sharing with you, and this leads to social change and sustainable environment. And finally, we evaluate and reflect on how our actions can create a better environment, like usage of single usage of, say, stopping the usage of single use plastic. That can be one. So once you become an aware citizen, you start evaluating your contribution towards a plastic usage or your contribution towards emission of greenhouse gas, so your carbon footprint. So let us move on. So this is the general understanding of how the pedagogy is evolving on different scales. We have the global, the national, the local, and how the different spheres, the public sphere, the collective action, the private sphere, and the individual actions actually merge and work together in the development of environmental inquiry. So formal environmental education basically means the schools, colleges which impart education which make us aware about the environment, where we are talking about the environment from a more structural point of view. So, and we have in informal human environmental education, where we can engage in different ways which are not necessary classroom teaching. It can lead to actions, it can lead to play acting, and we look at each of them. So the first type is exhibition, which is one of the ways by which environmental education awareness can be spread. So this is an example of how an environmental education looks. It is called the Museum of Tomorrow. So this was one which is having a different kinds of audio visuals and graphics and creative designs. And then this is another exhibition called Critical Zones, where we are looking at the loss of biodiversity through this exhibition, which is much more interactive and can actually create environmental awareness much more quickly when you interact with such a surface. Then we have role-playing ability in environmental awareness, which means that each individual, so this is mostly a classroom activity or has to be done in a group. So in this case, we have different individuals given a different uh, role in society, and we pretend to work in such a manner and try to solve a problem and look at it from a critical environmental point of view and how we will react to it. So this creates a kind of awareness, especially amongst younger children, about environment. Then this is a common awareness campaign, and to reach out is quizzes in schools and colleges. Then we have the debates, which can range from the international debates to local school level informal debates or chit chats, which can also be helpful in creation of environmental education. Next we have the field trips. So the field trips are forming an important aspect in environmental education, because they actually kind of makes you aware about your surroundings when you step out of the classroom. So it actually makes children a lot more environmentally aware than a classroom. Then we have the demonstrations where people they are talking about one issue, they are sloganing, and this is a popular way of creation of awareness, which happens, or something which people do not like, they demonstrate against it. We have the science projects, the models, again a good way of a formal education through which environmental awareness can be created. We have the poster presentations, which is so common in schools and colleges, where you have a theme and you are talking about that. We have the environmental seminars, where people from different educational institutions come together to discuss about the environment. We have the eco club in schools and colleges, where like-minded children, they come together and they have a session. And finally we have the roles of the NGOs and government institutions. Mostly here we are talking about the non-profit sphere, where people volunteer and a lot of work is done, a lot of awareness is spread. And sometimes we also see government institutions, they are kind of like, they are kind of collaborating between the private, the community and the government to create awareness. So these are some photographs of the kind of work which NGOs can be doing different cities. Then we have the government, the through its Biodiversity Act, its Environmental Protection Act. It kind of protects the environment, or tries to protect the environment and create awareness. Nowadays, information technology and mass media plays a very important role in creation of environmental awareness. And here we are mostly talking about print media, which was much more popular, but we still see print media coming up. Where on my left hand side we have a newspaper cutting of the sparrow, the house sparrow, which is disappearing in different cities of Calcutta, and we have the olive ridley turtle being hatched and children participating and helping it hatch in Odisha. Finally, this was a popular means, it has become less so, but yes, television, internet, e-newspapers can also form as important ways by which awareness can be spread. And finally, we have social media, through which we get to know about a lot of things much more than it was before. So if you have any doubts and questions, please feel free to comment in the comment section. And I do not want to drag this video a lot, because this is a simpler chapter. So we hope you will be able to manage. See you. Bye.